good morning, and welcome to another live episode of your daily breakfast show. Good morning, KSA. As always, we're coming to you live from the capital city of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, of course, from our Riyadh TV station here. But we hope you're having a pleasant morning so far, wherever you might be around the world. And more importantly, we hope that you are ready to join us for the coming 2 hours. We do have a great show lined up for you. Our main topic of today is going to be about the concept of social responsibility, especially when it comes to the private sector and private-owned companies and how they're doing their bit to actually help us as a society grow and develop and move better to achieve our goals. We know that the private sector is the money-making industry, or let's say where all the money is. How are they actually helping us as a society to, let's say, beat unemployment, to get more and more of our younger generation trained and developed so they are working within the workforce nicely? This is going to be a topic that we're going to be discussing today on the program, but we also have a number of different topics going on and side topics happening on the program. To tell us more, allow me to welcome my co-host for today, Diana Idris. Good morning, Diana.
Good morning,
How are
Rasha.
you?
I'm good, doing good. How are you doing?
Absolutely great.
Of course, we're having a great day here in the capital city of Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, where we're coming to you live. But nevertheless, good morning, you guys, and hopefully you'll be joining us for the next 2 hours here on Good Morning KSA. Especially, I just told you that today we'll be looking at social responsibility, the huge impact it has on our community, and what are the responsibility of these private sectors and these private companies when it comes to giving out more to the local community and to the society. Nevertheless, a great show we have lined up for you today. And as everyone knows that, of course, everyone we have set it aside to make desserts. I know a lot of people have a huge sweet tooth, or some people even have sweet teeth for that matter. Today we're going to be joined by Chef Randa to show us very quickly and very briefly how, of course, first of all, we can have breakfast. It's advised that you never leave the house without having some kind of breakfast going on. Plus, what is going on for dessert. So allow us to say good morning and assalamu alaikum to you, Chef Randa. How are you today?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Good morning, Rasha. Good morning, Diana.
So, Chef Randa, Wednesday is for dessert. Everybody
Yes.
knows this. But
Yes.
as always, we'll also have our breakfast. But today, Chef Randa, you're going to be making some kind of dessert. What are you going to be making first?
In lunchtime, inshallah, we will make rice pudding and cream caramel.
No, Ali?
No.
Oh, okay. I got confused. But what about for breakfast, Chef Randa?
In the breakfast, inshallah, we will make one kind of sandwich, roast beef with egg.
Roast beef with
Yes.
egg.
Okay, this is very nice, Chef Randa. Since you're making cream caramel and you're also making rice pudding, I would encourage you to make some Mali because this is something that I've been asking you for a very long time. But the breakfast, what's happening for breakfast?
Well, roast beef and
It's
eggs.
roast beef and eggs.
This is something.
Sandwich.
This is nice
Fried
because.
little the roast beef and make it with egg.
Okay, this is nice because sometimes people always just have egg and egg and egg, or
Yeah.
they'll have
Cheese,
cereal, or
absolutely,
cheese and
absolutely.
cheese. So trying to mix different things together is a very good idea. You
Yeah.
can have more of it.
Absolutely, and I think, Diana, that the kids, I mean, sometimes I feel sorry for some of the kids. They get so bored of the same old stuff.
Exactly,
You'll
true.
find the parents buying the same old cheese, the same old buns, the same old... You really do have to try and go for new ideas and mix some new ingredients together so that your kids do not get bored. Chef Randa, we will see you a little bit later on, of course, for the breakfast, and later on for our milky desserts. But we also, as we said, we have a number of different topics going on in the program. But let's take a look what's happening on Good Morning KSA today.
Welcome back in our kitchen in Good Morning KSA. Today we have a sandwich. Today we will use the roast beef and cheese and egg. This is little oil and little butter in this sandwich, but it's very, very delicious. First, heat little oil, about 1 tablespoon oil, and 1 tablespoon butter. The roast beef, one kind of dry meat. Use one kind of stick and make it. It's very light, more than the luncheon or mortadella, and very tasty. This is the slice of roast beef. You can find it. It contains little fat, but it's very, very tasty, and the fat in it less than the luncheon or mortadella. First, fry 2, 3, 4, as you like, slice of roast beef. And we need the egg. Sometimes we make the egg and find it the color very light. This depends on what do you make it, how do you make it. When you make the egg, take care, don't stir it a lot, because when you stir it a lot, you can find it cook a lot and find the color not good. Now add the egg one by one. Only stir the egg white until it starts to cook, and finally cook the egg yolk, if you like it cooking. Maybe need more. And now prepare the bread. This is sesame bread, but you can use any kind of bread as you like. Cut this piece. And now we need some slice of cheese. Cut it to triangle and use it here and here. And the other piece. You can use any kind of cheese if you don't like the cheddar cheese. And now the egg white, thick, and the egg yolk, it's very soft. You can crack it one time, and now remove it from the heat and leave it 1 minute before you serve it, because the egg yolk can cook in little heat, and it's good. Now add the roast beef. and we add the egg in the middle. Now the egg, you can find it, the color is very good and yellow is good. You can drizzle some Rumi cheese or Parmesan cheese, or you can use the black pepper as you like. This is our sandwich. And now we need some vegetable. I'm used today the rocket. A lot of vegetable. It's very, very tasty and healthy, of course. And some cherry tomato. And the sandwich. And this is the sandwich for today. I hope you enjoy with my recipe and stay us in the lunch segment. We have cream caramel and pudding rice. It's very delicious and very easy way. You can make it in little time. And now we have more in our program. Stay with us.
Nanoplastology section designs and fits custom-made ocular and orbital prostheses. During the process, the doctor would inquire the patient about any pain resulting from the prosthetic eye and would then adjust the artificial eye using certain techniques. The water in this small container is used to lower the temperature of the wax used in the making of the prosthetic eye. The process is extremely flexible. Adjustment can be easily made to the prosthetic eye, whether it is smaller or larger in size than what is required. The patient should come early in the morning, so the hospital staff would initially start with measuring the size needed to make the prosthetic eye. Sometimes a certain substance is injected into the eye cavity or socket in order to help in acquiring accurate measurements. Everything starts with the front side, which is made of wax. The black part representing the pupil should also be positioned correctly. Wax is used in making all parts of the prosthetic eye, both from the front and rear. A small flame is used to provide heat that should melt the wax for it to become soft, with no scratches or sharp edges, so that it would feel comfortable once it is placed inside the patient's eye. Some patients suffer from certain types of eye cancer, which extends to all parts of the eye. In this case, the eye would be completely removed, sometimes including the eyelids and other parts close to the eye. Some time is given so to allow the eye parts become dry. Then the patient would be given a replacement eye made of silicone, which would resemble the real eye to a certain extent. When the silicone-made eye is ready, it would be fitted into the patient's eye. Sometimes a type of medical glue is used around the edges of the prosthetic eye. In other cases, the prosthetic eye could be placed on a pair of glasses which the patient could easily wear. This is a lab where prosthetic eyes are manufactured. After the measurements are taken for the patient, the eye that was made of wax is put into a mold made of gypsum. After the mold is ready, some petrochemicals are used which make up the white part of the eye. Then the mold would be put in this machine, which works as a heated press, allowing for all the petrochemical ingredients to evaporate. The mold would then be allowed to cool, and the result is both the white and black parts of the eye. This drill is used to open a hole in the prosthetic eye with the same measurement of that of the patient. It is also used to remove a small layer off the surrounding white part. During this stage, the prosthetic eye is added with colors so to give a natural look. The colors used by the doctor or physician, or technician even, are made from dry pigments.
Welcome back, you guys. Of course, you're still watching Good Morning KSA, and that was a very interesting report that we saw on our health and beauty segment. And today, of course, since today is Wednesday, in the past couple of days, we've been talking about your health more in depth. Even yesterday, we had special guest Dr. Saeed Mutawa, who was talking to us about of course how to take care of your eyes, and of course for those of you who want to correct their vision, how LASIK is available. But yet, if not all candidates can be compatible with LASIK, there are of course other types of surgeries that are or could be recommended to them. But of course, we're going to be joined in a bit by one of the special guests who's going to be joining us here shortly in the studio to talk to us more about dental care, and of course how far has dental care really come in our medical sector.
Absolutely. Well, Diana, of course, just before we go into that, earlier on we said that we're going to be giving our viewers tips on how they can prepare as brides for their wedding to come. And we said that every girl dreams of her wedding. It's something that she looks forward to for a very long time. And Despite decor, despite how beautiful and luxurious the wedding is, the bride is always the center of attention, and she is always where the main focus is on. So just some quick tips initially before we are joined by our guest who's going to be joining us later on to discuss dental care and how you can care for your teeth and how you can actually preserve general dental hygiene in general. Let's talk a little bit about how you can prepare as a bride before your wedding. Now, number one is we know that like marriage itself, it requires compromise, it requires effort. Also, pre to the wedding, Diana, brides have to think about the wedding in advance.
True,
We're not just talking about decoration and flower settings and arrangements, we're talking about personal grooming and personal well-being. Should come down, I believe it or not, 1 year to 6 months before the wedding is actually planned. So don't start leaving things to the last minute. You have to work on it now. The minimum is 3 months, but it should be from 6 months to a year so that you can actually have time to look your best. Now, number one, the first thing you should do is that most wedding dresses actually do reveal the arms, the shoulders and the back. So it's a good idea to focus on these areas when you're weight training, to actually get muscle definition and to get sharpless,
Shapely,
beautiful
yes.
arms, because most dresses are low,
Exactly.
and many people, what they do is they would work out on lots of cardio, but they would forget about muscle toning and definition. So this is a very important thing, and be sure to do more cardio workout like walking and running. Cardio machines and aerobic classes are the best way to go, and your workout should also combine training to strengthen your muscles and to define your muscles. Now, we said that we're going to continue to give you more and more tips throughout the program on how you can prepare for your wedding in advance as a bride-to-be, but dental hygiene is also part of the preparation. Every bride dreams of a flawless smile, so please, I think we have a special guest joining us in the studio.
Absolutely. You guys allow us to say good morning to a special guest joining us, Dr. Yudis Ferrero, who is a general practitioner and aesthetic dentist as well as a dental surgeon. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Very good, thank you. What
Thank
about
you very much for joining us. Sir, you are an aesthetic dentist, first
Yes,
of all.
I am.
Give us a definition of that, please.
Aesthetic dentistry is a special subject from the dentistry where we are trying to improve the shape of the teeth, the health of the teeth,
Good.
but having a very natural result
Uh-huh.
and
Okay.
improving the appearance of the teeth according to the face, to the mouth of the person.
That's very interesting.
That's something very resumed.
That's very interesting.
Amazing. And I mean, how far can this process go if we're talking about getting a flawless smile, getting a beautiful smile? I mean, what are some of the most common, let's say, practices when it comes to aesthetic dentistry?
Actually, the most common is the people coming for whitening. They are always inquire. They want to get their teeth wider
Yeah,
than,
absolutely.
than they have in that moment.
Uh-huh.
But obviously, in that moment, when they are under our hands, we are telling them what else they need to be healthy. Not because not only the whitening is the option to improve the shape and the color of the teeth. They have to have a very good healthy gums without decays
That's good.
and everything that we can improve. Sometimes they come to us expecting to do something fast, but usually there are some procedures that have to be done before,
Okay.
Absolutely.
like orthodontist treatment, like cleaning procedures, periodontal treatment, but always focus on the final result, which is to have a very shiny smile,
That's good.
Absolutely.
something like
Well,
that.
Dr. Yazif, actually, the whitening process is something very popular in the kingdom. Many women here are actually looking for this, and me and Diana are actually talking about this morning. But you mentioned something very interesting. The patient has to be able to have this process. So, so what you're saying is
Not
that not
everybody.
everyone is a possible candidate.
Exactly.
So first,
First,
the patient must consult to see
exactly.
if
They must
they're
consult,
approved.
and we have to make a very accurate evaluation of the current status of the mouth. In that moment, we decide if the patient is available to continue with the bleaching or the whitening in that moment, or if we have to send them to do another procedures before.
That's interesting. Sir, I want to ask you one question that we were talking about it this
Absolutely,
morning, and we were talking about how sometimes when people have their teeth whitening, they have to take care of their teeth more often than they usually do. But a very interesting question I want to ask you, sir. When somebody goes for teeth whitening, for example, is there different shades that they can choose, for example, or is there just one shade?
No, actually, when they come for us, they always expecting yes. Sometimes they want to have the whitest
The
color,
whitest, yes.
but sometimes it's not possible
Exactly.
because all of us we have a natural shade,
Yes, that's
and the thing that we are doing with the wine is to recover that natural shade.
true.
That, in that moment, when the patients are not satisfied with this result, there are another aesthetic procedures that we can do to give him a whiter smile.
Okay.
For example, we can do cosmetic composite fillings or composite cosmetic veneers,
Okay.
something that we can improve. But the whitening procedure recovers the natural shape of the teeth.
Okay. That's a
the
very
thing
good.
that
So this is very interesting. So depending on how the natural color of your teeth, you'll be
Exactly.
able to get something closer to the original natural color.
Yes.
What about in regards to what Diana mentioned? Because we've been told before, I think, on the program that once you have, and I'm sorry to be concentrating on the whitening process,
No, don't
but it
worry.
is absolutely very, very common. I'm sure you're aware here in the kingdom, many women and even some of the guys
Yeah.
nowadays
Yeah, that's
yeah.
are also
Everybody.
seeking the whiter, flawless smile.
And they buy-
Post-operation, I mean, are there any foods, let's say, that once you've had your teeth whitened, do you have to refrain from drinking like coffee and so on, or is it fine to just go
Actually-
back to your
actually,
normal habits?
Yes, there are some instructions that we gave to the patients after the procedures. The following 1 or 2 weeks after the procedure, we advise them not to drink dark drinks or even smoke, because during this time the teeth are recovering the natural structure of them. And if they do this, maybe the teeth are going to stain a little bit more than they were before. But it's not for good.
Oh, of course.
We are only refraining to do it maybe, as I say, 1 or 2 weeks, and after that they can recover his natural costumes. I mean, if he wants to drink coffee, wants to transfer the heat, they can do it. We only advise them as well to clean very well, to
Because
brush
coffee
their
does stain.
to brush their teeth the 3 times per day as usual. Everything.
So this is bad news for coffee lovers. You have to limit your
No, no,
coffee
no, no, no.
intake. Oh, not really?
No, only as I said, only these 2 weeks. The next following.
And
2
that's
weeks.
okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
that's
can drink
lovely.
coffee, but if you have a very good oral hygiene, you can continue with your life
Good
normally.
news.
Great.
That's amazing news.
Yes, it is.
So now, sir, of course, as an aesthetic dentist, I'm sure you are very well specialized or have experience in, let's say, decays, different kind of decays. We've got, let's say, simple decays, and then we've got ones which are very extreme.
Yes.
Can you give us an idea, so some of the cases that you've had, and what was your diagnosis of them?
Okay, the decay is, obviously there are some classifications about this, but obviously we try to do it as simple as possible. We choose 1 level, 2nd level, 3rd level. It depends on the deepness, of the depth of the affected tissue, the chosen treatment.
Okay.
Okay, it depends on that. As bigger as is damage the teeth, as bigger the treatment, the final treatment. Okay, as you say, the simple decay we usually to do some normal composites,
Okay.
not something big. Only remove the affected tissue and that's it.
Okay.
But when the damage is deeper, sometimes we have to do root canal treatments, and it's not even possible to do a filling anymore, but we have to do some crowns.
Absolutely. It's kind of
Something.
like
Yeah,
shield
it
or
depends
replace.
of the affected tissue.
Absolutely. This is very interesting. But Dr. Yazif, I mean, primarily just some general tips to us as a society on how we can have better, healthier teeth and how we can have better oral hygiene. We know that you mentioned we should brush from 2 to 3 times a day. What are some of the foods that also contribute to to tooth decay?
Okay. The main thing is the bad oral hygiene. Okay, when people that are not used to clean themselves every day at least once, they usually is 3 times per day.
Really?
But when they are not usually to do
People
it,
are lazy. They're not
yeah,
gonna
obviously
do
every time we eat and the food is remaining there in the mouth, it's time to create the decay. The bacteria start to affect the teeth. So my tips is to clean very well and to visit your dentist at least once per year. Even if you are not feeling any pain or anything is bothering you, with this visit sometimes we can find small things that we can treat in that moment and
Absolutely,
to
before they
avoid
get worse.
further damage.
That's very nice. And sir, how long have you been here in Saudi Arabia before my next question?
1 year and 1 month so far.
Okay, excellent. So I think it's very easy for you to understand that we live in a region that food is very popular and food is used for every type of socializing. From your experience, sir, what are some of the common tooth problems that you have seen here among people,
Actually,
basically?
a lot of problems.
Well, what's the most common one?
The most common is the periodontal disease and the decay in a second level. That's the most common here. And unfortunately, I have found as well that the people are not very used to clean themselves. That's something. But actually, here in the dental department where I am working, we're trying to teach them to make follow-ups
good.
of them, and a lot of them have improved.
That's good.
Very, very good. After they know and they realize that the problem is getting bigger, is giving them pain sometimes.
Pain, I think, is the most
Yeah.
contributing factor to why people who are lazy would actually start brushing their
Exactly.
teeth. Because the pain, any tooth decay does really cause severe pain.
Yes.
Dr. Yazif, tell us very quickly, is there any types of food that actually contribute to tooth decay, especially in children? Because we know that many of our kids love sweets, they love chocolates, they
Candy,
love soda
yeah.
drinks. I mean, what are some of the foods that we should, let's say, avoid giving to young children, especially young babies who have milk teeth? Because
Yes.
I think milk teeth is an important part of the development
Actually,
of the human teeth.
the problem is not the food, as I said. The problem is not to clean. But, as you say, there are some foods that are more close to create decay, like the carbohydrates, all the sweetness,
Sodas,
the chocolates.
exactly.
But still, as I said, if you don't clean, even if you don't eat, you will have decay.
Oh, so you have to clean,
Yeah,
nevertheless.
that's the main thing of the
So eat whatever you like, but make sure that you're cleaning regularly.
yes.
What about the role of floss and mouthwash?
Flossing
And
is
is
important.
this something that actually helps as well?
Yeah, a lot. Actually, we recommend to floss first, to brush second, and to mouthwash at the third thing. Doing this 3 times per day, I can be sure that the percentage of the decay is going to be minimum if they have.
So first brush,
No, floss.
floss, sorry. First floss, then brush your teeth, and then mouthwash.
Yes.
Very simple, but very easy.
It takes only 5 minutes of your life every day.
5 minutes. And that's very interesting. So, how long should we brush? Because I know, for example, it takes about 2 minutes, I think, to properly brush your teeth.
Actually, there is not an exact time. It's more important the way you do it.
Okay.
There is some special techniques that when you go to the hygienist, they clean and they show you how to do
how
it.
to clean. Okay.
With this special technique, is much better because the time is important, but it's not the.
So tell us a little bit, Dr. Yazif, about the technique. I mean, should it be circular movement? Should it be strokes? Should it be in the back?
When I was younger, my teacher used to tell us that we should sing "Happy Birthday" twice before we stop brushing. So I don't know if this is something that you guys should do. But Rasha's right. How do we brush?
No, it's very simple. Usually the upper teeth we make like brush
Down.
going down, the lower going up, and the molars in circle ways.
That's easy.
It's very simple. It's something, but we have to have the ability to do it properly
The energy.
and the energy.
So you have to make it a priority because actually teeth are something
Exactly,
that
that's
should,
the
are supposed to last for the whole of your life.
Yes.
And it's not something that once you lose you can actually grow back. Okay, there's different procedures, but your human teeth are supposed to last forever and they do add to your beauty, so it's something important.
Yes.
Tooth do actually for shape your face. But sir, before we go, one last question, and I'm sure Rasha, we've talked about this before, I believe. In the supermarket, for example, or in the pharmacy, we can see so many types of toothbrushes. Some of them which are the normal ones, and some of them which are battery operated ones. In your opinion, which one does the job best? Or it's the same thing, basically?
Basically the same,
Same
thing.
thing.
Yes,
Okay.
as I
That's
say,
good.
The
same.
whitening toothpaste, Dr. Yazif, are they something that will contribute to whiter teeth or is it
Yes.
just advertisements?
I always advise there after the whitening procedure in the clinic. After that, I always advise the patients to use this kind of toothpaste, and it's very useful.
So it does work.
It helps her to maintain the shade of the teeth.
Amazing.
amazing.
Dr. Yazif Foriro, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us
Oh, it's
today
a pleasure.
and giving us some general information on how we can care for our teeth better and how we can have better oral hygiene.
Okay.
Thank you for being with us.
Very good.
Well, we hope you have managed to get some information there from Dr. Yazif. Remember that your teeth are something that are meant to last for the rest of your life, so do care for them so that you have a beautiful smile before you want to consider anything else like whitening or any corrections. Just the general brushing twice or 3 times a day and some flossing will go a very, very long way. Nevertheless, now we're going to move on to our cartoon segment, and when we come back, Good Morning KSA has lots more to come. Don't go away.
Welcome back, you guys. Of course, many thanks to Dr. Yazif for highlighting to us the importance of dental care, basically tooth care, and of course gum care. By the way, gum disease is on the rise. Gum disease is something you need to look into, and lots of times people who have poor gums, this can really contribute to further problems. So it's really important that brushing really helps you go a long way. According to Dr. Yazif, that of course you've got to first floss. Flossing is very important, although I know not many of us do it. You've got to floss, you've got to brush, and then mouthwash. Some very simple 3 steps. Do this twice a day and you'll be taking care of your teeth. As Russia said, of course, teeth are supposed to last us forever. I mean,
Absolutely.
literally, even after that, they're supposed to be there. But in our times that we get to see so many people are having gum problems, they're having tooth decays, they're having RTCs. So this is something that's not really good, especially among children. Children are supposed to be having the healthiest teeth, but so many types of our food, so many types of our drinks, including soda pop, by the way, is something very dangerous. And a very interesting experiment that we did while I was in school, Russia, and you can try this. It's something very
Is it the egg
amazing.
experience?
No. What we did, our teacher, she basically got soda pop, normal soda pop, soda drinks that we usually drink with meals. So what we did was we put human tooth, we put them in these soda drinks, and believe it or not, after how long was it? After 3 weeks, was it 4 weeks? I'm not so sure. I don't remember anymore. But the tooth starts to decay.
Wow.
So this shows you what soda pop is doing to your insides. I mean, your insides are softer than bones, but this shows you how bad it really is. So proper dental care is very important. Taking care of your gum is very important. At least going to visit your dentist is very important. You guys don't put this off, because later on, as Russia said, there's nothing worse than a tooth pain.
Absolutely, Dan. And I think, to be honest with you, poor teeth hygiene or poor oral hygiene is just down to the lazy fact that people do not want to brush their teeth. I'm sorry, because as Dr. Yazif said, it doesn't matter what you eat or drink. It's the fact, it's the hygiene that is more important. And I personally can't understand people who do not brush their teeth, because as we said, it's something that's going to be there forever.
True.
And imagine the appearance of unbrushed teeth. I mean, if they look bad now, if they look yellow now, imagine when you're 50, I mean, what they'll look like if they are still there.
True.
Nevertheless, teeth is also something important to everyone, and we said that we're giving you tips on how you as a bride can look beautiful. A flawless smile is every bride's dream. We're going to continue to give you more tips as a bride on how you can look and feel beautiful before your wedding actually comes. But now we're going to go off to our time to focus, and we're looking at the cotton industry here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Let's take a look at this report. When we come back, Good Morning KSA has lots more to come. Don't go away.
Cotton teasing is the art of turning white cotton into heavily warm and comfortable cushions and blankets made by the hands of an artist. Cotton teasing is a significant traditional Saudi craft that has always been popular and highly appreciated. Citizens who grew up enjoying the high quality of these blankets highly value this craft. Tools used in cotton teasing are simple, for all that the craftsman would use is a thin stick made of palm trees to hit the cotton, making it thicker and fuzzier, to then stuff it into blankets or cushions. Afterwards, he would use the other companions that every cotton teaser has, which are a thick, large needle and a white, strong thread that he uses to seal the cushion or blanket with. The stick that is used for hitting the cotton is named midrab, meaning hitting tool in Arabic. A cotton teaser doesn't only work on making new blankets and cushions, but also works on renewing old ones. And that is done by emptying the cloth and washing the cotton, exposing it to the sun, and then hitting it using the hitting tool so it would be fresh and new, to be stuffed again into the blankets and cushions that would eventually look as good as new. We've been told that there used to be a cotton teaser in every town in the east of the kingdom that used to have his own small shop, and people would go to ask for the services. Cotton teasers used to work on cotton teasing over the roofs of houses, where they can simply spread the cotton over a large piece of cloth and leave it exposed to the sun till it's dry. And then he would carry the hills of cotton down to his shop, where he would finish his job by stuffing and hitting the cotton. Saudi houses also have large cushions as part of their furniture, and these are named masanid. And they look like footstools, but they are used to lean to while sitting on the ground. These masanids are very popular and very demanded, and sizes can be made upon request, for some people would prefer them to be smaller, to be used as headrests, or larger, to be used as footstools. Cotton teasing, like other traditional craft, is sometimes a group work, and mostly the teaser's sons would help him do the teasing, while he would work on stitching. But others would prefer a quiet workplace, and would patiently do the whole job alone, like our friend here. After all the hitting and sewing, a tired man gets to rest his head over one of these cushions and wrap his weary body with a warm cotton blanket. So blessed be thy patient hands, old cotton teaser.
Good morning, KSA. Welcome back to the program. Of course, that was our time to focus, where we focused on the cotton industry in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But before that, we were talking about how you can care for your teeth, and we found out through our dentist surgeon that was joining us in the studio, Dr. Yazif, brushing 2 to 3 times a day. Bad news for the lazy people, but it's supposed to be up to 3 times, Dr. Yazif is saying. And of course, flossing and mouthwash should follow brushing. But before that, we were also telling you, as a bride, how you can look good before your wedding. We said that number 1 is training and exercise, and we said, Diana, that many dresses are either strapless or low back. So make sure that you tone these areas, your arms, your shoulders, make sure that it's all nicely defined. Now, number 2 is to think before you drink. Think before you drink any type of drink, because these drinks contain calories. Especially, you'll be surprised that fruit juices contain a lot of calories. So if you are trying to slim down before your wedding, try to avoid excessive fruit cocktails, strawberry milkshakes, or whatever kind of milkshakes you decide to go for, it's all very high in calories. Down at the average cup of juice, and when we say average cup, we're just talking about a 200 ml. We're not talking about those great big juice cups that we would normally get from the juice shop. We're talking about just the average cup. It contains from 100 to 120. And if you have one of those big ones, you could be consuming about up to 300 calories in just a drink. So, I mean, these calories, of course, can be better used to eat throughout the day.
True.
If you are a bride who wants to slim down, if you're satisfied, then maybe you don't want to consider this. But something else is to try and relax.
That's a
Now,
good
this is
idea.
something that many brides will actually not be able to do or
Exactly.
find very difficult. But actually, celebrity fitness trainer Holly Perkins actually recommends yoga. Yoga for the upper body toning and to stop stress developing.
That's a good idea.
Because yoga, for instance, like moving or Hafia or Vinsaya classes are all very much recommended, but actually the idea is 2 to 3 days before your wedding, try to rest and sleep. Rest
good
and
idea.
relax, excuse me. Try to rest and relax as much as possible before the day, because actually this will get the hormone, the cortisol hormone levels to decrease in your blood, which will get you to release water. Because the cortisol hormones, if they're overworking, Diana, and you get too much of this hormone in your body, stress levels will go high and water retention will increase. So then you will look puffier or even
And
bigger.
bloated, exactly.
And bloated, which is something that no bride wants. So to slim down, you need to rest and relax so that you have less cortisol hormones going on in your body and you look more beautiful and slim, because every bride
That's
wants
true.
to look slim in her dress.
Great.
Now, this one is in relation to what you said, bloated or being bloated. There are
Okay.
different types of food that can cause water retention and cause you to feel and look more bloated. You want to avoid these foods because everyone knows that looking great on your wedding day means avoiding food that promote water retention and puffiness. Now, this doctor, this specialist, also recommends that you should follow a special schedule. And the schedule goes as follows: cut 4 weeks in advance to your wedding. Bad news for you, Diana, but you should cut out bread, pasta, crackers, boxed cereals, which I know is Diana's favorite, and sugar and soy. Now, these foods are very high in carbohydrates. They, unfortunately, contribute to water retention, which contributes to bloatiness and making you look and feel puffier and bigger.
Okay, so repeat that again. That
Repeat that
includes
again.
Bread.
Bread, pasta, crackers, boxed cereals, sugar, and soy.
So basically, any type of sugar and carbohydrates.
Absolutely.
Cut that completely 4 weeks
In
prior
advance,
to.
in advance to your wedding, you should absolutely cut these foods out. Now, 1 to 2 weeks prior to the wedding, make sure you cut out salt, protein bars, bananas, beans, broccoli, and nuts. It's only a certain amount of food, but all these foods actually either contribute to water retention or gastrointestinal disruption or bloatedness, which is, but by the way, we're not saying that broccoli is bad for you or nuts is bad for you, but unfortunately, broccoli does contribute to belly bloating. It's a proven fact.
It is, it is.
The goal in the last 2 weeks is to decrease water weight. So what you want to do is to look as lean as possible by avoiding all those foods. And we said that we're not saying these foods are bad for you, but they do contribute to water
Exactly,
retention
exactly.
and to you feeling and looking more bloated, and you don't want that. So this is something to take into consideration.
Of course, you guys, as Rasha said, you should take about a year to 6 months to prepare for everything so that you can get relaxed on the same day of your
Absolutely, Diana. Just before we go, the food that is recommended for you if you are a bride-to-be and you're preparing for your wedding is actually dark green leafy vegetables like kale or spinach, salmon and other types of fish, grapefruit, apples, green tea and dandelion tea. And we know that green tea is good for you and it helps you to detox. The more you detox as well, the more radiant and beautiful your skin will look.
Very good. I think detoxing your body, taking care of what you put in your body is something that would really make a big difference, plus taking care of your teeth, as Rasha said. Guys, more tips on such topics and more here on Good Morning KSA. Right after our report Alternative Medicine, today we're going to be looking at the willow tree. Stay tuned to know what the willow tree is and how far it has come when it comes to helping mankind. Stay tuned.
The willow tree. The willow tree grows in wet earth in the northern hemisphere. It is found all over the world. It is planted by the banks of streams and rivulets. Villagers make use of them to shade and to stop hot wind in summer and cold wind in the winter. Its wood is also used to make handles for agricultural tools. Small pieces are used to make fires. Some of these trees may be very high, to the point where they reach 30 meters, or very short, to be 3 meters only. A tree can be planted by using broken branches. There are male and female willow trees. Willow is a popular tree that is known from old times. It is used in folk medicine to cure many diseases, especially in rural areas. Our fathers used it so much, they drank its boiled leaves to mitigate pain and reduce body temperature when high. It has the same effect of aspirin. It is also used in folk medicine to cure backache. We noticed that this tree is found in all areas. It is abundant and cheap and can also be experimented easily. Experiments showed that willow can cure leukemia by 70%. It is a high rate that gives hope to millions of sick people. Studies also proved that bark of willow tree can be used to treat pain of the lower part of the back, the same as traditional medicine. It also has little side effects. After follow-up of 228 patients of back pain who had 4 capsules of the extract of willow bark, researchers found that it was very effective. Experts referred in their study to the availability of using the bark of willow, which is known as Salix alba, as an anti-inflammatory. They also said that aspirin was developed depending on the chemical elements of this bark, salicine. It is thought that extracts of the bark of the willow tree, like aspirin, can cause ulcers in the digestive tract when used for a long time. So, those who have it more than a month must see the doctor, but in general, it is safe. 4% only of the cases may suffer from sensitivity.
Welcome back. Good morning, KSA. Once again, of course, that was our alternative medicine. Just an alternative method if you are looking for something away from the pharmacy or our modern day medication. Nevertheless, today we said we're looking at social responsibility and how private sector or the private companies, more or less, where all the money is, are contributing to the society through job opportunities and many more initiatives. We are joined by very special guests. Please allow me to welcome Mr. Tony McCarthy. Good morning, Mr. McCarthy, and thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Initially, Mr. McCarthy, just off air there, you were saying that you've been here for about 4 years.
Yep.
And we were saying earlier, me and Dana, that the private sector is where all the money is most of the time. How initially is the private sector trying to work towards helping provide job opportunities, especially for the younger generation, especially for freshly graduates who are looking to get into a career and are looking to get on the track of employment?
Okay. I mean, for us, BAE Systems, we've been here in country quite a considerable time, 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we see ourselves as a local company, not a foreign company.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, our ultimate aim is that our complete workforce are local nationals. So we put a lot of investment into our young people. We have a graduate scheme. I think we're taking 30 graduates on this year.
Mm-hmm.
We have apprentice schemes, aircraft technicians, flight line mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
We invest in postdoctorate programs. So we look at the whole spectrum. And the key for us is it isn't just quantity, it's quality.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very pleased that, you know, if we look at our workforce at the moment, we're 60% Saudised. And that's, you know,
Amazing.
really,
That's
really
great.
good. And that's a benefit for us as a company.
I
You know,
do
the more we're seen as a local company and part of the community, then, you know, the better it is. People will accept us more.
Absolutely. And sir, of course, since you said that you've been here for several years, I'm sure you've seen the increase of Saudi women or Arab women in the workforce.
Yep.
And this is something which is absolutely spectacular to see. So can you give us an idea, sir, what role do you have when it comes to supporting women who want to have a go in the business?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, as a company, you know, we support females in our workforce. You know, for us, it's talent management.
True.
It's getting access to the best talent that's out there.
Okay.
So globally, female employment is a significant part of our workforce. Here in Saudi, a bit more conservative, but we are seeing the change.
Good.
We're seeing the support, and for us, this year we will be establishing our own female centre.
Excellent.
We're making sure we're doing it culturally in line with the values of the country.
That's true.
I think that's very important.
Absolutely.
But I see that as first steps, and see that growing. At the other end, we have a postdoctorate programme.
Good.
That's supported and coordinated through the Ministry of Higher Education and the British Council. We sponsor, I think this year, some 26 postgraduate trainees. And that's an exchange that gets them linked up with counterparts in the UK. I think 8 of those are female, and each year there's been females in that. So we see it as talent.
Good.
We want to be there employing females, and this year we will be, but as I say, culturally respectful in terms of separate building, etc.
That's amazing. And also, Mr. McCarthy, I'm sure you're aware that recently there was a forum happening for human resource initiatives to actually work together to contribute more to society, especially when it comes to unemployment. Tell us more about this forum.
Yeah, I think for me, if we look back here on human resources, traditionally it was sort of administration and keeping records, and it's not. It's a key part of the business. It's a strategic enabler. So when you're looking at what you're trying to achieve as the company strategy,
Absolutely.
have your people got the right skills? Are we doing the right learning and development? It's very important. So for us, we sponsored the HR Forum. And that was about sharing and creating the HR community. It does 2 things for us. It first off lets our people see what else is going on in Kingdom,
That's
so
good.
we can learn and see things. And it's amazing that you find that people have got the same problems, the same issues, and create that community. So it was something we did this year. We're going to do it every year.
That's good.
We think it's really good, and creating that modern HR community, I think it's very important. And